Hey, Larry Rivera here, and it's a Saturday morning, and I'm making this video. It's really for my Team Inspire peoples. Love you guys. But if you happen along this video, you're welcome to stay and listen. You know, I was just thinking really today, well, this morning, because I got up real early in the morning. Because you know why? Because I'm self-employed. I've been self-employed for a decade, and I made a decision in my life. The first few years when I didn't have a job, I kind of got I got caught up in it. I used to wake up at noon, stay up till 3, 4 in the morning. No concept of anything. I was just totally unorganized in my schedule. I was lucky to, I was lucky I remembered how to teach my students at certain times. But I don't know. 5 years into being self-employed, I decided, I gotta have focus, and I chose to start waking up early. In fact, I'm 37 years old, and when I was 30, from the time I was 30 to 35, I woke up at 4:30 every morning, 7 days a week, just because I wanted to. Um, it's strange when you make your own schedule in life. It really is, because you find that things that were hard aren't so hard anymore, like waking up in the morning. It's not a big deal when you enjoy waking up every day and you truly love every moment of your life. What I'm making this video for is because I want to share more about who I am and where I'm coming from, because I think it'll help people understand me better, and maybe it'll help people, you know, achieve their full potential. So when I was born, I was born into a military family. My father was in the military for 28 years, I believe. And not only that, my family was a family of martial artists. My grandfather did martial arts. His father did martial arts. All my uncles do martial arts. And so from the time I was born to about 6, I did, my dad used to do, martial arts with me, all different styles, but mostly like judo. And from the time I was about 7 to 13, I did Goju karate. And from the time I was 19 going on 20, or thereabouts, to now, to present day, I've been doing Southern Chinese Kung Fu. Wing Chun, Tai Chi, Chin Na, taught through the principles of the No Dak Na system, which is my martial art family style. So, in the midst of all my martial art, somewhere along the way, I realized I was spending 30, 35 hours a week, after hours, after working, after training, after hanging out with my friends and so forth, playing computer games. I played a lot of computer games, and it was worthless. I didn't make money doing it. I was just killing time. But something triggered inside of me, and I realized I'm wasting hours and hours of my life, and it's not being productive at all. And what really made me realize it was there was this game online called Star Wars Galaxies, and maybe some of you heard of it, but I took on the role of a weaponsmith, which meant I physically spent hours. Oh my gosh, uh, uh, trying to get different ores and minerals so I can make weapons to sell. Right, I was a virtual millionaire in this game, to sell weapons to people, because I was always interested in making money, even when I was playing games. Um, and I and that was many years ago. I was still in my early 20s then, but I was wasting time. What 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 I did was I got involved in the online marketing business, or the idea of being making money from home. And at first, because when I got involved with internet marketing, it really kind of I started making money really fast, really easy, because there was no rules. There was no rules. You could sell what you want. You could say what you want. I remember when in AdWords you could just stick a link, right, and put a title and sell stuff, and people bought it, and there was no fuss. Things got harder, and things got harder, and things got harder. It's just, I guess that's the way. I guess that's the nature of the beast, right? when I finally gave up working, when I finally stopped, when I quit, told my boss I quit, I ain't doing it no more. I was scared. I didn't know how I was going to make money from month to month, but I knew I was driven to not work for someone because I'm really not employable, right? Someone tells me I'm worth $10 an hour. I just look at them dumbfounded, right? How does a person live off of that little bit of money? Let alone, even at this point in my life, I'm not sure how a person lives off of $20 an hour, to be honest with you. My point, or I guess where I'm going with this, is I got to do things in my life, right? I've watched both of my children talk for the first time. You know, a lot of women talk about how men don't understand what it's like to raise a family. Well, I understand what it's like to raise a family, or have to deal with children. And I know what it's like to have to actually bring money into the house, because the money that I bring into the house matters. And I've watched my kids talk for the first time, walk for the first time. I sung both my daughters to bed every single night for years and years and years. Pray with them every single night. You know, got to see all their first talent shows, and just, you know, I always have an opportunity to be there for my children, which is what I wanted. Because my dad wasn't there for me growing up because he was in the military. He already had what his priority was. It wasn't us, it was his military. So my mom really raised me. When I dropped out of high school, the second time, because, you know, dropped out twice. Once wasn't enough. I had to go back to make sure I really wanted to drop out. Um, I was told by my guidance counselors, and I was told by a lot of other adults, that life is hard, life is this, you got to work hard for your money, you got to do that. Just all kinds of things. Really, you know, it's not. It's a lie. You don't have to work hard. You have to work very smart. You have to work very smart. And you have to redefine what you think the word hard means, right? What does it really mean when something is hard? It's only hard when you don't like what you're doing. If you like what you're doing, it's never hard. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. You know, I train very hard in martial arts. Very hard. I train, I'll say train, I train very hard in internet marketing. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And because I love doing the things that I do, I don't mind waking up every day. I look forward to the next day. You know, I don't look at the weekends when they come and go, oh my God, it's the weekend, I got to chill out. I don't dread Monday mornings. Yeah, I don't see any separation between it's the summertime or it's the wintertime. It's just another day, right? And some days it's cold, some days it's hot. I'm not a goal-oriented person. I have vision, you know, I like to see where I'm going to be, but I live now. I live in the present. It's how I do my martial arts in the present. I am where I am right now today. All that matters is right now today. And I'm really shooting this video because this is the first time in my life. This is the first time in my life where, between my martial arts teaching, my internet marketing businesses, I'm making more money than I've ever made in my entire life. I'm making more money than a lot of people make, right? A lot of my friends struggle a lot more than I do. A lot of people who looked at me and didn't think I would ever amount to nothing, they work harder than I do. You can have and you can dream whatever you want, but if you don't really believe that any of it's possible, it won't be. When I was younger, actually, I remember believing in all kinds of things because my mommy and daddy told me. I just believed it. As I got older, reality sets in, and you find that the world's not a magical place at all. It's a terrible place. I've always believed that you're only limited by yourself. You're only limited by your environment. A lot of you guys out there are surrounded by people who basically put you down, right? They put you down, and they make fun of you, and they look at you weird. I know. I remember being over at my friend's house, sitting around, and they'd be like, "Hey, Larry, how's that internet marketing scam you got going?" And what? And honestly, honestly, I'd be like, it's going. You know, I couldn't tell them I spent $5,000 and I was making $100 a month. They would think I was on some kind of drug, you know. And I want to share a nugget of wisdom, because really I'm not making this video for anybody but my peoples who I'm dedicated to. Over the years, I found the less money that I spend and the more quality I put into what I do, the more money I actually make. You guys truly don't know. You don't know. You know, I'm making the most money that I've ever made, but I have such insurmountable debt that it's irrelevant. I'm broke. I'm always broke. I never had money. Now, don't get me wrong. I can go to I go on vacations every year. I can get great things for my family. My bills are paid, right? I can go to and fro, but I don't live debt free, right? There's a burden in my life, and the burden has been in my life, right, since I got my first credit card, my first car. You know, I have never lived debt free. I've never been in a position in my life where there was no debt around me. I've always lived in debt. I just figure one day I'll die and I don't have to worry about my debt no more. But when I hear people talk about how broke they are, or how hard times are, or they want to come up with all kinds of excuses why things are difficult, I sit there and I think to myself, oh my God, dude, I've taken the last pennies I've had, scraped them together for hope, for a dream. I put myself in debt, then put myself in debt, then put myself in debt, then dug a bigger hole, and then dug a bigger hole for a dream. And I think it's a blessing. I think it was a blessing that I built so much debt up in my life, because today I know how to do things at a fraction of what it cost me to try to actually do when I first got involved with this stuff. And I see a lot of people trying to find shortcuts, right? You want to get somewhere quicker, and I tried to do that, and all that looking for shortcuts did was cost me a fortune. There are no shortcuts. There's smart ways to do things, and there's dumb ways to do things, and just make sure you do smart things and you do dumb things. It's just that simple. But a lot of it comes down to really looking at yourself and thinking about the way things are. Like, you know, I went to Atlanta, the first event for Empower Network, and what I realized, and I think I recently realized this, is I was on the leaderboards, right? For every single contest, I was in the top 200 for every contest that Empower Network has ran, for every event. It's more impressive when you think of when I thought about the last recent one. You know, there's over like 80,000 people or so in Empower Network, and I'm sitting up. I think I was 140 something in the contest board. Not bad. I'm not motivated by money. I don't do this stuff for money. I do this because I got to sing my daughters to sleep every night. I do this because I wake up every day and I do whatever I want. I do this because I know most of you, probably all of you, can do what I do. But you have to reprogram yourself, right? If you've been struggling to make things happen online, you have to reprogram yourself to figure out what exactly it is you're doing wrong. Is it your expectations? or you're not putting in enough effort, or you're not sacrificing enough, right? Maybe it's easy for me to sacrifice my time because I don't have a job, right? But I put a lot of hours into you. I made it a priority, right? Do I go out Friday night? Do I work for you? Do I sleep until noon? Do I get up for you? I make it a priority. I had a job, actually. I did. And I used to wake up at 4 a, 4 a.m. and I did this for a good 4 or 5 years. I wake up at 4 a.m. to get to my jobs and get a kung fu class in before work. Right, dead tired to the world, not wanting to do nothing. And I didn't have a job where I sat behind a desk. Right, I didn't have a fun job. Any job that my dropout butt could get was totally manual labor, totally breaking your back. It's terrible. And I think to myself, right, what's the one missing piece between failure and success? Well, I don't think success is a destination. I think it's a journey. I think you are in a continual state of growth. I'm making more money than I've ever made. I'm making more money than I've ever made. And it's just, you know, what it makes me believe is that it really isn't hard to make money. I thought it was hard. It's not. My belief system on how much money can be made is through the roof, right? And it is true. I'm working less in terms of in all areas of what I do. I'm working less and I'm making more, right? The more money you make, it's true. The less you actually work. And the less money you make, the more you're probably going to have to work. But I don't really have any kind of selfish ambition. I don't. I don't really particularly care to be seen as anybody special. I'm not looking for fame. I'm not looking for glory. I'm not trying to just, buy as much new things that I can buy because I've never been a money motivated person. I like people. I like talking. And my driving force to make money online at first was to tell people around me, look what I can do. I told you, told you. But over the years and getting good at this and watching good-hearted people struggle, fail, quit, struggle, fail, quit. In my Kung Fu business, in martial arts, I see people struggle, fail, quit, struggle, fail, quit. Why is it that most people struggle, fail, quit, and only a few people succeed and rise to the top? I'm a successful person in life. I don't do many things, but what I do, I'm really good at. Really good. And that's because, it's not because I'm a genius. It's not because I'm smarter than everybody else. It's not because I'm richer than everybody else. It's not because I grew up better than anybody else. It's not because I've had more opportunities than anybody else. I'm too darn stubborn to give up on anything. It doesn't matter to me what someone says. I just refuse to give up. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. And everything. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a loser. I will never accept that from my life. Ever. It doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't. I don't quit. I don't quit. When I first started martial arts, seriously training, a lot of my friends used to come around. They throw hook punch at me, throw jabs at me. Sometimes they'd hit me. Sometimes they knock me down. Sometimes I miss a block. And they go, oh, you're kung fu, blah, 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 blah. Nobody I know in my personal life, big guys, wide guys, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter who the person is. I'm good. And not because of me, right? I'm good because the principles are sound. I'm good Because I don't quit. I just don't quit. Anybody could be good if they don't quit. Anybody. You could be a boy, you could be a girl. Tall, short, fat, skinny, muscular, toothpicky. It doesn't really matter, right? Because principles are principles, right? Truth is truth. That's the one of the most important lessons I've learned in life is truth is truth. There's no secrets in internet marketing. The problem is people have to accept the truth. Accept it. Stop trying to find a shortcut around it. It don't exist. I made a point with you guys, my Team Inspire family, to show you as many aspects of my personality as I can because I'm an anomaly, right? I really shouldn't be where I'm at. I really shouldn't be. But knowing where I'm at, I realize you can be that much further. You can be that much greater. I'm doing fantastic in everything that I do, and I have very little ambition. I have no real particular place I'm trying to go, except here and now. I'm here, and it's now. You know? You can work hard and get nowheres. Did you know that? Did you know you can work really hard and get nowheres? I bet you lots of you do. I did. I did. The harder you work and the more nowhere you go, because it's not about working harder. You gotta start thinking way more three-dimensional about everything that you do. And you gotta turn off all outside distractions. Things that are not helping you grow, that are not getting you to where you want to be, you need to turn off. You need to turn it off. If it's not really bringing you to where you want to be, turn it off. You got the choice to do that. It's your decision. Nobody can force you to do anything you don't want to do. Nobody can make you do anything. Every argument, every insecurity, every fear, everything that is going on is totally created within your own mind. Block it out. Block it out. Got to go to work every morning? Suck it up. Go to work. You got to do it. You're disabled or you're unemployment and you're getting very little bit of money. It's okay. It's where you're at in life. You got to do it. You know, one of my bestest friends in the whole world passed away, and he was disabled most of his life, but he never made an excuse for his life. He lived it to the fullest. He did what he had to do. He took responsibility, and I love that kid. Most people I talk to should be ashamed of themselves for the way that they talk, for the way that they cry. They should be ashamed of themselves. You know? Life is what it is. Life is what it is. What I'm here to say for you guys who are listening this long into this video, totally random, pointless morning video, is you can do and have the things that you want. You can achieve anything you want. But if you don't really care, if you're not totally driven, I mean, I do mean totally, absolutely driven, it doesn't matter what you want, you're not going to accomplish it. I want it to be successful as an internet marketer. I want it to be an accomplished martial artist. I wanted it. I tasted it. I could feel it. It didn't matter how many times I got punched in the face, or taken down to the ground, or locked out, or anything, right? It didn't matter how many tens of thousands of dollars I wasted. It just didn't matter. Because I knew in the end, all of the agony, all of the pain, all of the mistakes, I would get through it, and I would get through it, and I would get through it, because I've seen other people quit, and I refuse. I refuse. I refuse to quit. I had an email the other day from some guy who said, you know, you're great. I really think Empower Network is a good business to be in, but I'm broke. I can't even afford to sign up and sign in. Look, guys, I don't have time for that no more in my life. I made that mistake earlier on with all these chintzy little people coming into my life, telling me how $10 is really stretching it for them. If $40 is stretching it for your life, or even $140 is stretching it for your life, really sit back and evaluate what got you to where you are. Don't blame nobody. Don't tell nobody your problems. Nobody cares about your problems. Everybody in the world has problems. Everybody in the world has problems. To get solutions, you get rid of the problems. To get rid of the problems, you stop talking about them. Don't make them exist no more in your mentality. And they won't. And they won't. My situation is different. I have so much debt in my life, I have no choice but to produce. No excuses. I have no backup plan. I just must produce. I must produce. Do you understand that? I got nowhere to turn. It has to be done. There's nobody giving me a paycheck. There's no security blanket. I must produce. No excuses. So when I look at my children, and I look at my wife, and I look at my home, and I see my personal responsibilities, and I have somebody tell me they can't afford to do something, what the hell do I care? I have to look at my children. I have to look at my family. I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses. My friend who passed away, and maybe one day I'll tell more about his story, I never met another person who literally from the moment he was born to the moment he died lived in absolute agony and pain, physically his entire life, and died because of it. He didn't make excuses for anything. Anything. Excuses, if you live your life by living by excuses, you'll get nowheres, and you deserve nothing. And it's tough. It's tough to say that, I know. But you can't make excuses for yourself. Accountability is the #1 key factor with you realizing what you must do. Take accountability for your actions. Don't make excuses for your life. If you're doing something and someone comes back at you with an email, or someone says, oh, this is too much money, tell them to go F themselves. Seriously. Right? Go tell them to go get a life. Because the reality is, it's only too much money because they don't have any concept, right, of themselves. They have a scarcity mindset, and their whole life is probably living in scarcity. When people come at you with their problems, and people come at you with how bad things are, they're coming at you with their scarcity and their failings, and that person will never. They got to fix their mind before anything positive can happen in their life. But that negativity and all energy can ooze into your psyche. You get an email of somebody saying how hard things are and how expensive things are. It can emotionally affect you. Block it out. They are poison to your life. Poison. The negative things that happen towards you about internet marketing, where you're trying to build a business so you can stand on your own 2 feet and you can be proud of who you are. These people who are negative, they're poison. 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 Don't let that affect you. Don't let other people affect you. Don't let nobody bring you down. Because that emotion that gets into your head just keeps on dropping you and dropping you and dropping you to such a terrible state of depression. It's ugly. Think better of yourself. Think better of yourself. Love yourself more. And don't let these stinking thinking SOBs affect the person you are. Be the person you want to be, and in your heart be proud and happy of who you are. When someone comes at you with stinking thinking, just ignore them and walk away. Walk away. I got that email, and the guy actually emailed me back after I told him, dude, I can't help you. You can't afford a $40 a month business. What do you want from me? I'm very disappointed in you, he said. I'm very disappointed in you. You're very disappointed in me, dude. You're a grown man and you can't afford $40 a month. I didn't even know what to say. Didn't know what to say. Didn't know what to say. I just ignored it. I just dropped it. He's disappointed with me because he can't afford $40 a month to be in a business. Really? Love yourself. Love yourself. Peace.